and welcome to Off the Tee. My name is Chris Exusion. You can find me at Chris Ebom on Twitter and at OTT Matchups on Twitter. What a week at the Players. JT pulling it off, course record, ball striking machine, got over the off the tee issues. Putting was not that great, but still was able to pull it off. And, proving once again he's one of the best players in the world and winning another big event for him for his career, just solidifying how great he truly is. And now we're going to finish the Florida Tour over here with the last event, the Honda Classic. Guys typically are taking this week off to get ready for the matchup play coming up next week for the World Golf Classic, but doesn't mean we're going to stop here. We found some really good spots, and without further ado, let's talk about it. It's at PGA National, par 70, 7,125 yards, Bermuda grass greens. Tons of water here, really high rough, just like the last tournament. Similar courses include Muirfield Village, Concession Golf Club. Key stats I feel are going to be important here. Big shocker. It's going to be strokes gain, approach. Scrambling could also be important here because of high winds that can maybe pick up as well. And par 4 scoring between 400 and 450 yards is also going to be important here because that's what I've come to find out with the course is most of the par 4s fall into that category. So without further ado, let's get into the bets here. Leader after first round, a favorite of mine, as you know, if you've watched this show many times. I got 4 golfers I really like. The first one is Shane Lowry, 45-1. Coming off a big performance at the Players, he finished 8th in the entire tournament, very solid. In the first round alone, he scored over 5.5 strokes gained total in the first round, so that's also good to know that he's been doing really well in the first rounds. He's also been successful at the Honda Classic in the first rounds as well. In the last 4 years at Honda, he's played 2 first rounds and he's had really good performances in both of them. And for a guy that's getting hot at the right time that people aren't really paying attention about, I like him to possibly lead after the first round of 45-1. The next golfer I like here is Zach Johnson, 60-1. He's the 3rd highest strokes gained total in the field based on first round play in the last 4 years at the Honda Classic. He's played 3 first rounds here out of the 4 and has had over a 4 strokes gained tee to green at a very difficult course. So that's a really good track record for him. He's a grinder. His putter's been on absolute fire. The last 11 out of 12 rounds he's been in the positive, so it hasn't just been a flash in the pan. I've been watching him in matchup plays all pretty much last week and weeks before. His putter's just been really solid and good. And I think at this kind of course, if he's getting GIRs, I think he has a good shot to lead after the first round. Jonathan Vegas, 80-1. Real high number. He has the best strokes gained total numbers based on any golfer in this field based on 4 rounds of play in the last 4 years at the Honda Classic. So he's played in every one of these. He's had the best strokes gained bet based on all 4 years playing. He's one of the top guys in birdie average in the entire field. He's ranked 6th in that entire field. And I'll take a chance with a guy with this kind of experience at this course, and he's a birdie-making machine out of this field. I'll take him for 80-1. And finally, an old friend I'm throwing back out there, Peter Malnati, 100-1. A guy that I usually like for first rounds. He's been a little cold of late, but at 100-1, I really like him. Taking a shot on a long shot like this. In a watered-down field, I even like him more here. He's ranked 2nd in the field in par 4 birdie or better percentage, which is going to be real important here. And he's a guy that can score low in the first round. 100-1 just seems like an automatic play for me. See if we can get that big home run swing there. And now I'm going to give you 2 top 30s over here. The first one, Jim Furyk, 2-1, my Arizona Wildcat. He's been playing in the Champions Tournament tour, if you will, and now he's making his return to the PGA. He's only played 2 tournaments so far this season, but he did finish 21st at the AT&T and 26th at the Genesis. And the Genesis was a very tough tournament, stacked field, and now he goes to this course where he got a 9th place at. Fairways are really narrow, and he's number 1 in the field in fairway hits percentage. He's that old wily veteran. He's a solid ball striker and grounder. I love him here to make top 30 at this number, 2-1. Wesley Bryan plus 2.5, plus 250 here. Tied for first in strokes gained approach with Russell Henley. So he's a ball striking machine. He almost hit 70% of his GIRs, 4th in birdie average. Even though he has a small data size for rounds and like the field compared to everybody else, I like his chances to make the top 30 here. I got two golfers that I like for top 20. My first one, Tom Hoge, plus 350 here. He's known for his ball striking approach shots. I really like what I saw out of him from the Players, finishing 22nd. He has over a 4.13 strokes gain approach, 2.49 strokes gain putting, and a little over 3 strokes gain tee to green this week at a very tough course. Very televised, very public. This is a really difficult tournament to play in. Now he plays in a lesser field. I expect him to keep that kind of momentum going on, and I think he's going to really break through this top 20. And at 3.5 to 1, I really like him here. Joaquin Niemann plus 138, birdie making machine. In the tournament where he's one of the top stars in the field, which is usually not one of his spots, but in this tournament he's one of the top guys here. I love him to be able to make top 20 in this spot. He finished 29th at the Players. He hits over 70% on his GIRs. He's in the top half in the scrambling field just in case the winds get kind of crazy there. I like that to fall back on. He's 5th in birdie average in the field. And he's also very strong strokes gain off the tee. So being very good off the tee and, very good approach shot maker, a guy that can run up the score. I really like him here for top 20. And now I'm going to go into the top 10. Two guys that I really like here. The first one, Lee Westwood plus 335. In my opinion, he's been the number one grinder on tour in the last two events. He's had 2 second-place finishes, just ran into a monster in Bryson that just put it out of his mind. And JT, who just went on a monster tear of just hitting close to every pin pretty much, and just pretty much getting the best ball striking numbers in like any tournament at any time. So he kind of ran into a buzzsaw against two guys that are just top of the tour. So you can't really hate on him for not winning those tournaments. He's had a 4th place finish at this tournament. He's been in his best form, and for a top 10 in this wire down field, it's an automatic play for me. Brendan Steele, 5.5 plus 550. He has had a 4th place here last year, and he also has 2 14th place finishes as well. He had a very good showing at the API, the Arnold Palmer, with an 18th. He has a good combination of strokes gained off the tee and approach. He's 5th in the field in strokes gained tee to green, 4th in scrambling in the field, and 11th in eagle average as well. So I think this is a good combination for him in this kind of field. I think he's going to contend, and in top 10, I love him at 5.5. And to win, I got 3 golfers. First one, my favorite, Lee Westwood, 22.5 plus 2250. He's my favorite guy to win this week. I know he doesn't have all the best stats for this, but I don't feel like anybody's been playing better than him. He's been in great flow, great mindset. He's been in these last 2 tournaments. Pretty much should have won one of them. This is going to be the one he wins here. He's been striking it real well. He's been really accurate off the tee, which I think is going to be very important here. And this will be his time to shine. So at plus 2250, I love him here. Brendan Steele, 45 to 1. I talked about him before. He's just been really consistent in this kind of watered down field. He just does everything right, and I think he's going to have his name in contention and definitely have a shot to win this at 45 to 1. And finally, I have to throw him in there. I don't usually like throwing a lot of chalk in, but as far as winners go, but I am taking the chalk of the chalk here as well. Daniel Berger, plus 1050 here. He's just the best player here for the most part. I think he'll do better than Sungjae Im. He's a grinder. These guys are all grinders, these 3 of them here. I think Westwood's the best of them here for sure, but Daniel Berger will be in contention as well. 10.5 isn't the best number here, but he putts it real well. He strikes it real well. He just does everything right, and he gets good distance off the tee as well. So Daniel Berger at 10.5 to 1 is also a play for me as well to win. And I wanted to thank you guys again for listening. The Honda class is coming up. Not the biggest field in the world, but you know what? It'll be great to bet on anyway. We're going to have some winners here. And if you guys want to catch me on Wednesdays on Fox Sports The Gambler, I'm there with Sean Brace. I break down everything with this tournament. Any questions he has, I'll answer for him and give some other plays I don't give on this video on Wednesday as well. So be on the lookout for that on Wednesdays on Fox Sports The Gambler on iHeartRadio. And I also have some big things coming up as well with Off the Tee as well. We're going to be shifting to a live stream and, going to be making more connections here. And I'm real excited about the opportunity of what Off the Tee can bring. So just keep spreading the word, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you for the support. You can find me at Chris Ebom on Twitter. If you got any questions, hit me up. I'm more than happy to answer them or talk about golf with you guys. And let's go make that money.